Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. You know what's stupid is when you mute yourself. Let me go back. Stand by. 1 2 1 2. All right. Now I'm sure you can hear me. I've unmuted myself. How's that? There it is. Okay, everybody. Sorry for the delay. That's the way that my life's been lately. Simple as that. Anyway, I'm trying to get over here on Facebook so I can see if I don't know why it's not coming up on Facebook page. How you doing, by the way, everybody? Everybody good? Yep, I'm looking. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, willing to talk about anything, and I can't bring you on. I don't think. If I was Instagram, I could bring you on. Let's see what. Pick your trade. 3 firsts for Deshaun Watson, 1 first and Deron Payne. I don't know. I should have put this Zoom link on. Then I would have got a whole bunch of crazies on here, though, wouldn't I have? Yes, I would have. First and second for Deron Payne for Stafford. Second and fourth for Garoppolo. No. Second and third for Darnold. No. Pick your trade. 3 firsts for Watson. 1 and a first and Deron Payne for Stafford. First and a Deron Payne for Stafford, or 3 firsts for Watson. I go first and Deron Payne for Stafford. That's what I probably would do. Just saying. I was asked the question and I answered it. Okay. What do you want me to do? Looking, trying to find, I feel like Lionel Richie, trying to find a way. We know that song. You got to get on. Boone, you got to get on. Boone, you got to get on. Get on my live. Boonsta. Anyway, as you can tell, I am completely bored right now. Got a foot injury. It's too cold, so golf is out. So I sit here and I am watching what's going on. By the way, we're going to do this with a no political deal. So what's going on with me is, oh, there you go. That's my voice. That's lovely. Dave Levin's watching. What's up, Dave? How you doing? This was didn't Facebook have a way to bring you on? I know that Instagram does. We're just going to sit here. That's what we're doing. Foot injury. Yes, I got a foot injury. Went and got a shot in the foot, but I think it was just in the ankle. It hasn't quite worked out. So we're trying to rest it as best as possible. That's what we're attempting to do. What else? For all the news with Al Galdi at 980, people are asking me what's going on. Well, it's clear they're gutting the station. New ownership came in. They own both 980 and 106.7 The Fan. And just, it's clear that they are gutting 980. Going to be interesting to see what happens with B. Mitch if they move him over to 106.7 The Fan, which I would imagine they would do if that talk has not already taken place. But the other X factor, and you guys saw it last night for those who follow me, David Culley has been hired as the head coach of the Houston Texans. Culley is a guy that knows B. Mitch from back in college days. So he has spoken highly of him for a long time, B. Mitch of Culley. And as far as B. Mitch not taking an assistant coaching job ever, he's always said, I don't want that stress. This might be the situation. depending on what's going on with 980, and who knows what's going on. I mean, B. Mitch lives a really good life. He's got his own brand. Excuse me, I'm all clogged up. uh, Obviously, he's got a big, large footprint here in this market. But this might be the time to get back in the NFL and do some coaching. He could certainly coach special teams. He could coach offense too, to be honest with you. He's a brilliant guy when it comes to football, the sport. He's smart otherwise too. The guy's a freaking engineer in college. But this might be the time. You know, you go down to Texas, get in as the special teams coach and make your hay there. Start there if he wants to go further. But to watch a game with B. Mitch and Trevor back in the day, I wish fans could do that and then stay quiet and don't ask questions, just listen how they look at a game, and it's phenomenal. Which happens to a lot of the NFL guys. I mean, they watch the game far differently than we do, and now I watch it differently as well. I rarely see the football. I see what's going on the line, and I see how coverages are set up, and it's in a more interesting way to watch it. But this might be a way for B. Mitch to go back to football. And by the way, since he is, I'm watching my actual. This is cruel. I'm watching, and they actually have subtitles here. That's crazy. So somebody must be typing this in, right? It's a bot, isn't it? Ike Richmond, yo. What's up, Ike? Ike, longtime buddy from the University of Maryland. Horrible game last night in basketball. Just awful. What else? I'm just looking. What was I saying? So this might be a time for B. Mitch, the former Washington, Philadelphia, and New York footballer, to get back in the game. And as I was saying, he belongs in the Football Hall of Fame. And perhaps getting back on the sidelines kind of raises the profile. The guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's number 2 all time in all-purpose yards from scrimmage. Number 2. Not that far behind Jerry Rice, who played 7 or 8 years longer than B. Mitch. So stop it. But we've seen how the Hall of Fames work. Look at what happened in the Major League Baseball. Not one elected? What is that? Do you think it was political with Curt Schilling? I'm going to say yeah. I'll tell you this. It's tough to be outspoken or to share your views in this political climate. I know this firsthand. You know, I know that there are certain places that will not hire me because of the way I feel about politics. And you got to either shut your mouth and take the job and go, yes or no, sir, or you speak your mind. So it's cost me, along with my attitude in other areas. We've well documented that. But what can you do? I chose the way I was raised to speak my mind. That's my mom. That's my mom. Belated happy birthday, although I already wished her happy birthday, to my sister Shelly. Her birthday was yesterday. He's doing quite well. If you guys need some glasses, Warby Parker. My sister runs a bunch of Warby Parkers on the east part of this United States. So reach out if you need some Warby Parker glasses. I can refer you. Well, those are online right now. Oh, there's my daughter. The frightening human. She's just getting up. What time is it right now? 3:08. And that's when my daughter's getting up. I will tell you this. I went to bed last night at 5:05. Side, no one cares about your politics. Let's be honest. Okay. You're a guy that's engaged to be married. So you've lost all ability to speak. It's over for you. Just so you know. The Amish man, Cy Fenwick. We were supposed to do a podcast, Mr. Fenwick and Mr. Smoot and I, but we have pushed it back to next week. It'll be a pre-Super Bowl podcast. And I'm working fingers crossed. I'm working on a very big guest for that show. That will surprise some folks. So working on that. And Cy, don't ask me who because I'm not going to tell you. Cy's like my family. They got to know what's going on at all times, which I understand sometimes, but sometimes you just got to leave the surprise. Let it happen. Nobody's asking questions. And I'm wondering, I wish I could bring somebody online here. When I could put the Zoom link up, but then all hell's going to break loose, which sometimes it's fun. We did it one time before, but it turned ugly, like N-word and everything else flying around. That was just senseless. Maybe I'll do that at the end. You know, when I'm ready to have it quit, I'll do that. That might be funny. Might be funny. We're also on YouTube Live, by the way. Interesting. Very interesting. So back to 980. So for those who didn't hear, Al Galdi, who does, there's no person in the DMV radio airwaves more prepared than Al Galdi. He's got every scenario, situation, number at his fingertips. And just, you know, if it's your thing, he's a really good listen. If it's not, I get it. There's so many different factions, but he was always informational and certainly conversational. And Al's a good guy. He filled in for me when I couldn't do the Chicken Smoot podcast out there at Augie's in Old Town Alexandria this year. And you know, you just feel bad. I went through it myself, and a bunch of folks have gone through it recently. Like I said, 980 is just, it's a crumbling mess right now. You know, I don't, 1067 The Fan is getting their lineups together. Me and Smoot reached out to somebody at 1067 The Fan and never heard one thing back. So it was obvious to us that they didn't want to have us on the air, which was, you know, their prerogative. Not even a response. That kind of sucks. You know, that's not good business, you know, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen in this business. Rashad, I am. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I am talking about 980 right now. Rashad. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you I knew what was going on, but I don't know what's going on. Jimmy Cregan, Derek Davila, Shelly Lawrence, Buckhants is watching. I don't think Shelly's watching. I bet you that's Buckhants on Shelly's account. I think that's what's going on right now. Buck's watching. Shelly's not watching. Shelly's got far more important things to do than sit here and watch me ramble. I talked to an old friend of mine, Wally Bruckner, earlier today. The only good thing about this pandemic and all this bull. What's up, Cregan? We're still working on that thing we talked about. You got to push a little bit sometimes with some folks. The only positive is that even in the beginning of the pandemic, I reached out. We did a lot of Zooms with old friends, and that was cool. I got a big one coming up on February 1st. For those who don't recall, oh, Shelly says it's really her. Okay. Of course, that could be Buck. I'm getting a big Zoom on February 1st. For those who know anything about me, I started at the Ms. Lou Sports News Network. Actually, I started Mutual Radio, but the Ms. Lou Sports News Network was 31 years ago. And we're having a Zoom reunion on Monday night, 8 o'clock. And there's going to be anywhere from 25 to 50 people on the Zoom. It's going to be chaos. But it'll be fun to catch up with a lot of folks. What's up, Rob? Rob DeWolf is watching. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least. But so what I was saying was catching up with old friends, reconnecting with folks. That has been the only positive to all of this. The only positive to all of this is reconnecting. I've been doing some auditioning. I'm beginning to write comedy again. Oh, by the way, especially you folks in DC, my boy Tony Woods, fellow Blairite, tremendous comedian who a lot of folks credit their careers to, including one guy named Dave Chappelle. Tony Woods is going to be on Tiffany Haddish's show this season. I believe it's Netflix. I could be wrong. I should probably look that up. But look for Tony Woods, one of the funniest humans on the planet. So it's cool to see him back on the network. He's a guy who just loved clubbing and never quite got the big break. He was close. But this perhaps is something that might work out. But still, it'd be great to see Tony doing his thing. His craft is he is a artist. What he is, he's an artist. I'm not sure why I'm wearing my earpiece because I can't hear anybody because no one's talking. So let me just take this out. I'm so used to that. I'm not sure why I'm doing it. Let's see. Any messages? No, no, no. Okay, I'm looking around. Nate Dowry in the house. What's up, Nate? Nate, another Blair guy. Nate, I just talked about Tony Woods going to be on Tiffany Haddish's show. Nate and I went to Blair together for a while. Sang some Commodore Schlitz commercials back in the day. We were really good. I mean, we sounded really good in our own minds, which was spectacular. I might do Instagram later. Somebody's asking me. I might do Instagram later. Okay. Now I'm reading it. Somebody just posted something. Matthew Martin, shame on you. He says, just found out my stuttering cousin died in prison. Damn. He couldn't even finish his sentence. Really? 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 Yeah. What's up, Erwin? Erwin's in the house. Everybody's just on, but nobody's asking questions, which is fine. It's fine. Yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling. So I was supposed to call a bunch of Howard basketball games for ESPN Plus, but Howard has not played basketball since December something. And COVID's wreaking havoc on a few programs, and Howard's one of them. We're not sure when we'll get back to doing their games. Really want them to be back in time for the Howard Morgan State and Howard Coppin State games, because both Morgan State is coached by Kevin Brodus, who went to Blair with me, a year behind me, and then Coppin State, coached by one Juan Dixon, which will be great to see him. I covered him in his freshman year at Maryland, so that would be kind of cool. I do the games with Jimmy Patsos, the former Maryland assistant coach and coach at Siena and Loyola. He's a national championship winner when he was an assistant at Maryland. So we're supposed to do that. I've auditioned for a few projects. One I've got my fingers crossed on that went rather well, but it's all up to the deciders, right? So I am waiting to see. Leave the funny to Tony, says Nate Dowry. Hey Nate, can you read between the lines? Let's try that. Leave the funny to Tony. I'm a funny dude. We'll try that. I'll send you my routine again. You'll laugh. Are we going after Stafford? Says Nate Dowry. I have to imagine yes. In some form or fashion, Ron Rivera, Marty Herney, Martin Mayhew are all looking to upgrade the quarterback position. And we don't know what's going to happen with Alex Smith. Kyle Allen coming back from an ankle. What does that look like? Is he a bona fide number one guy? Probably not. So we'll see. I would imagine they're going to be looking at Stafford. I would imagine there'll be an inquiry about Deshaun Watson. How can you not at least take a look at that and see what Houston wants? That would make sense to me. Imagine him in this offense. Terry McLaurin. Yes, Aaron Rodgers. I think if Aaron Rodgers comes here, it's a horrible end to his career. That's the way I feel about it. You need a line that can give him time. He's really good with time. I know he can throw on the run and make some sidearm throws, but stop it with the Tyrod Taylor stuff. Just stop it. Scott, any PGA radio coming up? Uh, Good question, Scott. I'm a COVID casualty when it comes to PGA Tour radio, so I'm on hold. I'm in a holding pattern because I was last man in. So they're doing their thing, and if they get in a bind, I'm told they will call. That's the unfortunate part. So I'm just kind of in limbo when it comes to PGA Tour radio. I love calling golf. It's awesome. The funniest part was at my club, we had a club championship last year, and I did it. I recorded it and did play-by-play and edited it together for the club and mainly for the two guys who were competing. And that turned out to be pretty good. That was kind of cool. What else? Kelly is asking, why would Aaron come here? No way. So Kelly's having a conversation with somebody else on here. Orlando Strozier, Matty Ryan, really? Oh, Strozier, by the way, for those who don't know, played his college football at the University of Maryland. But back in the day when I was in Augusta, he was at Hepzibah High School. And part of my Friday night highlights was I made sure a camera was there, at least for the first half, because Strozier would go off from the quarterback position and just run around through past everybody. So he was a great highlight package himself. Matt Ryan. Yeah. I mean, bona fide number one. So I'll give you that. That's not bad. Nate says both need an O-line, Aaron or Stafford. No question. Watson could get away with it a little bit more, but you don't want that. You don't want your quarterback getting tapped. Simple as that. Kelly's got a question. Terps Hoops thoughts. Last night was awful. They got it. They're down, 18, and got it to within 3. And then just, as Mark Turgeon said, did some dumb things down the stretch. So it's a learning process. They are a bubble squad, no question about that. And with Aaron Wiggins and really with Eric Ayala in the lineup, they're a much better squad. And they can do some things against teams, not with their size, but with their personnel. So, it's obviously a strange season, to say the least. It's the weirdest season ever when it comes to athletics and the world. Yes, sir, Orlando. Always show you love. No question about that. Amish asks, how many hats do you have? I've never counted the amount of hats I have. I am looking, by the way, for a really good hat store. There was one down in Georgetown. That burned down 2 years ago. Georgetown hats. So I'm looking for, and I don't want to do it online, but I'm kind of forced to. I really want to get more stylish hats. These are pork pies, one color. I do have a tricolor one that's nice, but I'm looking for some more stylish hats. I don't like this look here. That's good for if I'm trying to play Jimmy Jam. If I'm doing a freaking Janet Jackson video, then yes, but that just looks too old to me. If the Terps or the Teeps, as Nate Dowry writes, Nate not finished a lot of Maryland English classes at Blair. If the Teeps were still in the ACC, would they be number one? Hell no. Well, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the ACC, to be quite honest with you. Other than if anybody watched Twitter the other night, got into it a little bit with former Carolina Tar Heel coach Matt Doherty, who was tweeting about the 4 things necessary in life: a good military, law and order, blah, 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 and then God. And I just thought the order was a bit off to begin with. And he also blamed Democrats for something. So I was like, I just retweeted another reason to detest a Tar Heel. And he responded, and he said, basically, hey, thanks for the message. I would think as an ordained minister, you'd have an open mind. Well, I am an ordained minister. That is true. I did do that 2 years ago so that I could perform at a wedding for my best friend's daughter and her husband, Jessica and Luke. So I am an ordained minister because I applied for it online. And that's what I told Matt Doherty, that I'm ordained because I had the same credentials as your guy in the previous office of the White House. And that started a little back and forth, but it was all good. Um, I am not going to be the minister at your wedding, Cy. I've never been more nervous in my life in performing that wedding, by the way. Mitchell Morris says, Tops of Old Town, 2400, my Vernon Ave, Old Town. My Vernon Ave. What the hell does that mean? I'll take a look. Let me write this down. My Old Town. I'm just writing this down because I need to upgrade my hat collection. I do. Yes. Orlando is agreeing with Nate Dowry. Hats in Annapolis. I love Annapolis. That's a pretty good store. Um, and by the way, Annapolis in the spring or summer, great town to go to and hang out, have lunch, go on the boats, come back. Mount Vernon Ave. Mount Vernon Ave, says Kelly. Okay. I'll take a look at it. The problem is you don't want to order hats online because the sizing is the biggest key. You know, you want something that fits. You don't want something that goes like this because then you look like Art Carney. You want something Art Carney for you folks. Look him up, Art Carney. Anyway, you know who I've been trying to get on the Zoom, by the way, is Rex Chapman. Oh, looks like Nancy Pelosi blasted somebody. Okay, well, I'm not going to get into politics, as I said. Rex Chapman, who's got a great Twitter handle, great Twitter feed, and we respond back and forth. But I'm trying to get him to come on one of our podcasts, not Zooms, podcast. But anyway, Amish, how big of a closet do you have to fit all these hats? The hats are all over the place, Amish. Some here, some upstairs, some in my car, some in my garage. So yeah. And if I was really stylish, I'd have a big old hat rack that could carry 50, 60 hats, but I don't have that. My wife would kill me. My wife needs more space than I do. Let me look here. I'm trying to, why is this not updating? There we go. Yeah, I'm just reading Al Galdi again. Yeah, people are really upset with local media. Look, the game has changed. It's simple as that. The game has changed completely. It's not the same. Everything evolves. Sometimes for the better, sometimes the worse. Sometimes, you're just not going to get. I watch local sports now, and some stations don't even have a sportscaster. I mean, and you just, they're kidding themselves if they think that this is feasible. But they do their analytics and go, oh, a lot of folks watch sports. They watch news and weather. Well, then don't do sports at all. But don't vomit up bullshit, right? Have somebody that can deliver the sports with some pizzazz, with some entertainment value, with some thought provoking. But they're just having news anchors read sports and somebody write it for this. It's just not. It's not what we grew up with. It is not the better option. But I don't pay their people, right? So I'm not the decision maker here. Is what it is, as they say. So let's let it go. I mean, not let it go, but it's a far different game than back in the day when I grew up with George Michael and Glenn Brenner, my mentor. Everybody knows I worked at Channel 9 or intern at Channel 9 with Glenn Brenner and James Brown and Ken Meese, and that was the heyday of making sports entertaining and making the mundane entertaining. That's not the case anymore, which is it's just reality. And folks are, get on their phones and can get it as quick as they want. Which part of that's really good. If I want to watch a Maryland basketball game and I'm like in a car, well, not in the car, because I would never watch a game in the car, unless of course I pulled over into a parking lot. But you can get that fast action, boom, boom, and watch. So it's changed. At some point, it'll cycle back to, hey, there's a personality that can deliver the sports, and I mean, if local stations really wanted to draw in um, viewers, they would foster their talent, give their talent some backing. You know, loc excuse me, locally. Whoops, locally. You know, for the town I grew up in, the DMV, I think you get a sportscaster that can handle the tough interview, the entertaining interview, almost like the press junkets I used to go on when I go out to the movies in LA and interview Matthew McConaughey for We Are Marshall, turn those into something. I think locally stations could do that with their sports talent. You know, everybody gets their scores fine, so make it something else, make it entertaining, put some value to it. But they're not willing to do that, and because their analytics say it doesn't make a difference. Well, no one's tried in a long time. Like I said, there are a couple stations in our market that don't have a sportscaster working. They've got sports producers writing for the news anchors. That ain't going to get a cut. That's not going to get it done. And I know some are watching right now and they're going to be pissed off or like say, well, there's chick just bitching. I'm not bitching. It's reality. Believe me, the producers know it. The producers want a job. So they do the job. They do what is required of them. Write sports for our news anchors. Okay. News anchors can't handle it. There's nothing to it. It's not like news. It's different. It has to be delivered differently. And there's no relationship with the teams. And right now, especially, I understand this year with the Zoom and can't get, in the locker room. I get that. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it. But that's what it is. So the business has changed. Local radio has changed. I feel horrible for Al Galdi. I feel horrible for Chris Johnson, who was a long time bigwig there at 980 and did the job admirably. And gone because some muckety muck came in, bought it, and said, nah. Happens to a lot of us. New faces come in and they go, nah. Yeah, nah. They want to reinvent the wheel. They have the power. Look, it was a goal of mine to go back to Channel 9 back in the day. Darren Haynes does a good job. I've seen him a few times and we talk online. But as an intern at Channel 9, it was one of my dreams to go back there as a sportscaster, having interned for Glenn and JB, and I thought it'd be a nice full circle. Never took place. Never had the opportunity. Same thing with Channel 5. Channel 5's got no sports department. They I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. I don't know. But they don't care. I think they fail to realize if you care, you can create a footprint. But that's their choice not to. What else? I want to keep bitching here. What else? What else is going on sports wise? So we got the Super Bowl, obviously, the octogenarian Tom Brady versus the baby Pat Mahomes. Great matchup. Great matchup. I love it. I was never a big Tom Brady fan, but that was more born out of the Patriots. What he's done in this 1 year with Tampa has been nothing short of phenomenal. What's up, Liz Waller? Hello, Liz. So major props to Tom Brady at the age of 43. Hell, if he was 38, it'd still be amazing what he's done to go in and bring a team back to the playoffs. What, the first time in 18 years or so? And I saw the numbers, ridiculous numbers, as far as what he's accrued in the postseason. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So major props to Tom Brady. And he's not the breadwinner in the family. That's where I really hate him. You can be good and all, but your wife makes a boatload more than you do. So what pressure, what stress is he under? Zero. As Steve Mitchell would say, that's bullshit, Harado. Dave Gorn, as a newspaper publisher, said to me once, sports is not our largest readership, but it is by far our most passionate. Same goes for sports viewers, listeners. Preach it, chick. You're right. You're right, Dave. Johnny Holiday is watching. See, I wish I could bring Johnny on. the legend Johnny Holiday. Here's a guy, right? Johnny Holiday's been doing basketball for 85 years. Kidding. He's stuck doing Maryland basketball, and they're not even traveling. Just like Washington football team didn't travel to the games. They're having to call games, and it sounds nearly as good, but you know it's not. And for those of us in the business, how difficult that is because he's relegated to watching a feed of the game. He's got Walt Williams and Chris Nockey, and they're watching feeds of the game. 87 years. Thank you, Johnny. Um, that's how crazy this season is, right? They'll do a hell of a job. They come into your living room. I don't, I don't, I'm quite honestly, when I used to hear about people say they would turn down the TV for Washington football and listen to Sonny and Sam, I thought, well, that's kind of weird. I'd do it with Maryland basketball for sure. Because I don't know what those guys, Dan Dockich and those guys lose their minds and say some stuff that I just go, what is that? So I turn it down, put the radio on, and I will delay the TV feed so that it matches up to listen to Johnny, Chris, and Walt. But again, they're doing it in unbelievable circumstances, right? They can't even see the coaches and what's going on the sidelines often because TV is not showing them, you know? Think about back in the day if it was during Gary Williams' era and these games are being broadcast this way. You'd never see Gary talking to the assistants. I say talking. I think you know what I mean. You would never see that. So it's a very odd time in our business, and the pandemic makes it doubly so. Yeah, Johnny Hotley. Here's Johnny. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He says, keep it rolling. How about those classy folks at Masson? I'd like to say the F word, but what the fudge is going on at Masson? I mean, Gary Thorne, not even a homegrown product, but really the voice, right? TV voice. All those people that have been let go by Masson. I don't know what's going on other than it's an Angelos thing. And from day one, when Angelos was tied in with the Nationals and the Orioles, you knew this was not going to be a happy ending. You make your own jokes there. It's a bloodletting at Masson. Bloodletting. All of those folks let go. All the on-air talent, producers, just a ton of them. I know some folks still there. Congratulations. But they have to be teetering. They're on a seesaw with a splintered board right now. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You're right, Johnny. Yeah, it's not a whole lot of class going on right now. Well, Buck and Phil, as Johnny says, Buck and Phil was one of the worst. It was one of the worst because they tried to get rid of Phil earlier. And then they didn't. Then they did. And then Buck. I mean, it just made no damn sense. I don't know what they were thinking. No disrespect. When you say no disrespect, you mean disrespect, but I really don't. But the broadcast of Wizards games now, just there's nothing. There's nothing to it, right? And that's sure some bias on my part, for sure. Absolute bias on my part. But what was really good, hey, Rodney Elliott, what's going on? Oh, the Terp in the house. What was really good what's special about this area was that you felt like they were coming into your living room and they were a family. That's what I tried to do. That's what Glenn Brenner taught me at 9, and when I was down in Augusta, Georgia working, man of color down south, death threats the first month on the air. By the time I got into my second year there, I couldn't go out to dinner without being interrupted by folks wanting to introduce me to their family because they felt like I was family. And we're not getting that at all these days. The Wizards broadcast, I got no warmth there. Nothing at all. Zero. The Reds, almost said it. The Washington football team broadcast with Bram and Julie and D'Angelo, they're trying. Okay. That can become a homegrown, and it is homegrown. It doesn't quite feel that way yet, but that's their first year. And again, they were doing it, away games from FedEx. Again, you don't get the feel and no crowd. You don't get that. But a lot of the decision making with the broadcasts and local sports, there's no feel to it. And it's sad. I keep I'm keep bitching. I don't want to keep bitching. Rodney Elliott, Perp in the hizzle. Mr. Schuster, what's going on? How you doing? Jerry Schuster is watching as well. I'm just kind of bored to tears, so we're out here. I figured I'd chat. I bought a backdrop because you can see how messy it is back there in my office. I'm not a hoarder, but I don't put stuff away. I got a backdrop I used for this audition I did yesterday. Um, yeah. What else? Let me look and see here if I got any commentiosos. There we go. Angelos. Yeah. Nate Dowry. Angelos is all you had to say. Or Agelos. So spelling is not really a strong suit for you, right, Nate? Even though you're a realtor, you deal with numbers instead of letters. Is that what's going on here? Um, what else? Uh, God, you bring up a topic. I'll talk about anything. I probably should have done this on Instagram. That's right, Nate. So Johnny Holiday, for those who don't know, legend, obviously, the voice of Maryland sports, primarily basketball and football. And when I was a student at Maryland, way, way back in the day, WMUC radio is where I got my start. Wanting to do what Johnny did, call basketball, call football, and um, we. Yeah, Spencer says he's scared to death since he's jumping into the industry. Yeah, you should be. It's a difficult time. So Bob Wade's first year, 1987, they make it to the dance, and uh, you know, Johnny's calling the games for, I guess, WMAL, the broadcast, but the college radio station, WMUC, we didn't have any money to travel, and so Johnny uh, footed our bill to get us down to Louisville, where we called the Southeast region. Um, and it was two things from that trip that I really remember. One was we walked into the arena the day we got down there to just check out what was going on. It's me, Adam Gold, and Jim Paris. Adam was the color analyst. Jim Paris was our stat guy. We walked into the arena and we saw these computers on all the desks. We're like, what is that? And we hit the button for the on button, and there was the stat sheet. And I just looked over at Jim and said, well, your work is done because we have all the stats right here. So he didn't have to do them really. He could just watch basketball. He could certainly was looking for different numbers for trends and stuff like that, but his job was done. And the other thing was, I think it was that trip. I think it was that trip. You call in a bunch of games, and my voice was going, and I saw Johnny in the hotel lobby one day, and I said, "What do you do when your voice is going?" He goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "Are you sick?" I said, "No, it's not. I'm not sick, but it's hoarse." And he said, "Oh, hot tea, honey, and a little something extra." It worked. Now I was drunk the entire program. No, I wasn't drunk, but I've to this day I use it absolutely. Dave Gorin, how did you ever get a word in working with Adam Gold? That's very funny, Dave. I go on Adam's show every once in a while when he's got some DC angle. Uh, love Adam Gold. Back in the day, we were two peas in the pod. He loved to call baseball too. He called ACC tournament baseball. There's another story there that I can't even get into. I'm going to turn this away from the window since that's so bright. Goldie's been doing radio there in Carolinas for 30 plus years. So, two pretty good careers out of WMUC radio. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Be quiet down in there. What the hell's going on out there? He's using the bathroom. I'm looking to see what's going on. Okay, sorry. Just looking at stuff. What else? What about the story of Chad Wheeler? How about that story, by the way? Right? Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Let's see. Spencer says, my key when I'm hoarse is to put a couple of honey lemon cough drops in a bottle of water that has gotten me through many games. Okay, but then you're sober for the whole game, Spencer. That's not really what I'm talking about here. Most memorable Rodney Elliott moment? Question mark. Rodney, don't make me do that to you. Okay. Don't make me do that to you. Hank Aaron thoughts. Um, all right. See you later there, Nate. Hank Aaron thoughts. Well, um, excuse me, I'm typing something. Obviously sad to see him go. Happy that he went into sleep. Not COVID related. So it seems to be a peaceful ending to a Hall of Fame man, then player. Um, I don't. He was such a. He was one of my first heroes. Obviously, when he broke the record, I was sitting there watching TV in my little one-bedroom apartment in Silver Spring with my mom. So just the guy who did it with class, beyond class, really, in the Jackie Robinson mold of all the crap that he had to deal with. Um, is phenomenal that he was able to do what he did. Uh, I read somewhere where he had literally 12 miles more total around the base paths than second place. That's how consistent he was. That's ridiculous. And the fact that he had the home run title without ever hitting 50 in a season, insane. And by the way, in my estimation, he's still the home run king. F that Barry Bonds and his extra stuff. Doesn't make any sense to me. Um, yeah, I'm still looking for a Rodney Elliott most memorable moment. I don't have one. Just don't have one. I mean, there were the good times we had. You know, um, what's cool is I'll tell you this. What's cool is getting to know the players and them treating you with respect. And so that's my memorable moment is dapping somebody up and being excited for them when they're succeeding. So I'll say that. I hope that's okay for you, Rodney. Um, Tony Woods in the house. Tony says, I just taken the COVID vaccine too. Who had? Hank Aaron? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. I covered the Braves, obviously, long after uh, Hank was there. But when I was in Augusta, I was covering the Braves during the beginning of their run, um, which was amazing. I was there for 3 straight NLCSs, and it was insane. I'll tell you what was almost more insane. Ted Turner owning the Braves was he had a party at, I guess that was Fulton County Stadium every year during the playoffs. So you'd cover the game, do your work, go live, and be done. And there would be a party on the different levels. Actually, the one level, but it was a huge tented party. So big that you could have a band play on either end and not hear the band. And they had like 10 big game, small game chefs, and in the middle was a huge champagne tree. You could just walk by. Greatest food, great drink, and first year I did it, covered it. I was a mess. Hung over every morning, but the games are at night. So as long as I was ready to go by 5 o'clock that evening, I was fine. But put on weight, drank, and you traveled, uh, cover the games in Atlanta, then go to Pittsburgh and cover those games. It's awesome. Um, so much so, in fact, so much so that one of my cameramen, who shall remain nameless in Augusta, begged me to come on the next trip, the next year. He goes, please make you part of your crew. I said, all right, blank, you're on the trip. But he used to brag about how much he could drink. So we set him up. I just kept sending him by the champagne tree. And by the end of the night, he was blotto, just absolutely blotto. So we got back to the hotel and we stripped him down to his underwear, tidy whities. We dragged him down into the parking lot in a parking space and laid him there. And we took video of him just sleeping in the parking space. We picked him back up, put him back in his bed, and never mentioned a word of it. Not a word. Next day, he woke up, hungover, but he's like, "Man, it was great." Blah blah blah. And we let weeks go by, and I said, "We're just going to set him up." And then it was about 4 or 5 weeks later. We're in the office, and we're talking about going out that night and drinking. And he goes, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I want to tie one on," and you know, started to brag about how much he could drink. And it was at that moment I said, I kind of signaled the other guys. I said, "Let's go into the edit bay," and I popped this tape in the edit bay. And I said, "Hey, dude, come here. Take a look at this." And so he's looking at this body being dragged out onto the street, and he is completely oblivious as to who that is. Absolutely oblivious until the camera went up on him and they rolled him over, and there was his face. And it was at that moment, 6 weeks after this original moment, that he realized he'd been had. At that point, he could not evermore say he's a great drinker, because we had it on tape that he wasn't so great. And every once in a while, I think on LinkedIn, I just kind of send that reminder to that guy. Obviously, now full grown, probably a family man. That's probably a little mean, but I don't care. What else? Nothing else? Oh, Roddy, thanks, man. I appreciate it. If I had a Maryland flashback cookout, I'd be invited. I appreciate. You know what? At some point, we need to have one of those. Have a big old cookout. We'll get some Maryland sponsors. Bring back G Dub, and just chill, eat, and drink. I like it. Daryl Daniels and Tony Woods are watching right now. Daryl Daniels and Tony Woods. One guy's funny, one guy's not. Again, if you guys haven't heard, Tony Woods is going to be on Tony, is that Netflix with Tiffany Haddish? I should just probably look it up, shouldn't I? Let me just look it up real quick. It's much easier that way. So Tony Woods is going to be on a show this year. I just put down Tiffany Woods. You're not married to Tiffany, right? Okay. There we go. Sorry, shouldn't do that right into the microphone, should I? Anyway, I'm rambling. Tony Woods, it'll be on Netflix on February the 2nd. I don't understand your English. I'll be on the show February 2nd. I will be on the show. Got extra on February. Okay. I like it. Tony, another hat wearing fool as well. I'm not even gonna. Well, for those who haven't seen Tony, I'll say this: a couple of years ago, I made my comedic debut at Caroline's in New York, and it went pretty well. And then Tony reached out and said, "Hey, man, why don't you come out and hang with me one night?" I knew that was a mistake from the word go, but I wanted to see him in his element. So I went down to this club. They were roasting another comedian, and I got a drink. And Tony's a great host. He's introduced me to fellow comedians and stuff, and he keeps saying, "Yeah, chick's kind of thinking about getting in the biz," and I'm like, "Yeah, not really." But I'm gonna go watch. So I'm sitting at the bar. I mean, Tony's on stage for a minute, and he just yells out, "Yeah, y'all know Chick Hernandez, right? The sportscaster." And I'm like, "Oh, let's not. No." And he brings me up on stage, and now I'm like, I do a minute, 2 minutes, but it's like when I did it in New York, much easier because no one knew who I was. In DC, they're all going, "Hey, not the sports guy. He's kind of funny on TV, but I don't know about here." And so I did my bit, and then we went to like 4 different other places. That's the life, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're eating pizza. Now, in my 20s and 30s, yes, all in. Now, hell no. I wake up and play golf. Can't be eating pizza that late. I killed. I still think about it, Tony. I should do it on a very much smaller level. But yes, so very happy for you, man. Can't wait to see it. February 1st on Netflix with Tiffany Haddish's show. I can already tell that you did your thing. So I'm watching Tony do his thing, and I'm like, I can't even give it away. I can't give it away. But Tony does something that makes you believe that he is uh, had a few drinks. That's what I'll say. Um, don't always believe what you see. Cy Fenwick, Amish says, pizza that late is always amazing. You know what's amazing is it's amazing to your colon. That's what it is. Your colon says, hey, dude, what the fudge are you doing? Shoving down some pizza and dough, some cheese and dough down your gullet at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sam Tabron, what's up, Sam? Daryl Daniels says, I'm funny too. Well, Daryl is funny only because he closely resembles Vijay Singh, the golfer. So that could be funny. Heenick, what's up? Heenick in the house from Sigma Chi at Maryland. Netflix, don't forget now, Netflix. What did you mean? Now, Netflix on February 2nd, I'll be on the show Got Extra on February 1st. Are those two different shows, Tony? I don't know what's going on anymore. Who knows? Well, this is fun. I had a chance to catch up with y'all, sort of. I guess I should do Instagram at some point so I can bring some folks on. Sometimes Tony goes live on there. Good to see you too, Heenick. I'll probably do more of this just because there's nothing else to do. All the basketball games that I'm supposed to call are getting postponed or canceled because of COVID. So that sucks. Like I said earlier, I'm doing some auditioning. Russ Taylor in the house. Russ Taylor, are you in Toronto? Every time I hear that word, I cannot say it that way. Simple as that. All right. Tony Wood says it is an entertainment gossip show. It's called Extra. Is the one with Billy Bush? Okay. Yes. Oh, so you're doing extra? Okay. Nice. Yes. So Tony's doing Extra on February 1st. That'd be good. Cool. February 1st, extra. And February 2nd, he's with Tiffany Haddish on Netflix. So that's where Tony Woods will be. Local guy, Blair Blazer. I talked to another Blair Blazer. I'm going to go on his podcast. Steve Turner, who coaches high school basketball at Gonzaga, got a pretty cool podcast. And he and another Blairite, I'm going to go on their show Monday, and I think it's going to be posted on Thursday. Speaking of, Russ already left. Thanks, Russ. Podcast. Me and Fred Smoot are attempting to carry our podcast called That's Your Opinion well past the football season. But Fred's got some things going on, and so we're postponing this week and hope to do one for Super Bowl week with a special guest that I am working on. What's really sad is that Cy Fenwick is still on here. So Cy's really bored. He's our producer. He's bored to tears. But I am using the webcam he got me. Yes, and your boy. Yes, Cy wants to be mentioned at all times, by the way. People are going, who in the fudge is Cy Fenwick? If I say Amish, they go, oh, yeah, we know who you're talking about. So, yes, Amish, Smoot, and Chick. Yes. I'm not trying to shortchange you. But you know that the billboard says Smoot and Chick, right? I mean, that's what right there. If it says Fenwick, they think we're going to the island. That's not really the same thing, is it? What else? I went to bed at 5:07 this morning. That's what I did. Rusty Allen, does Smoot understand betting lines yet? Very funny. We're not sure. We'll have to explain them for the Super Bowl to Fred. Rusty Allen talked to Tommy last night. I'm bored to tears. I'm sure you are too. There's no golf. It's cold as shit outside. By the way, you know what I found funny last night on Twitter? So somebody put out the video of what's her name, Laura Ingraham show, and it showed Lindsey Graham picking his nose before they came back from break. Like they came back, he's like, "Oh, I'm on camera." So I just retweeted and said they sure can pick them. Twitter took that down for like 10 minutes. So of all the heinous stuff you see on Twitter, all the hatred and vitriol, that is allowed to be posted on there. They thought to themselves, "The guy picking his nose, that's offensive." And I called them out on it. Not that they brought it back because of me, but it came back about 10 minutes later, which is silly. Peter Gallups in the house. What's up, Peter? I'm looking to see anybody asked anything on Twitter. Doesn't appear so. First of all, by the way, the doorbell is ringing off the hook here because we keep getting packages. We got more packages, Mom? Oh, Costco. We got food coming. Well, I like to get fed, says my wife. I married a smartass, in case you guys are wondering. Uh, Rusty, it's horribly cold. Why do we live here? We went to Florida 2 weeks ago and want to go back. Again, no invite. Just terrible. James Brown's watching. What's up, James? I believe that's the other James. It's a bunch of James, you know. This is another James Brown from Montgomery Blair High School. Nobody is reaching out on Twitter, which is okay. So just looking to see what's going on here. What else was I going to bring up about? Yeah, the Chad Wheeler case is phenomenally horrible, just horrible. Beat up his girlfriend, nearly killed her, and he's out. And the way our country works right now, what's the first thing that people started saying? Where's the mugshot? How come there's no mugshot? And they went right to the race issue, and I'm like, the hell is this thing about race? My guy beat up his girlfriend, just abused her, and come on. Tony Wood says, "Hey, James Brown or Brown James." He is Brown. A lot of Blairites on the hizzle. I like it. I like it. I think it's time to put. If Tony's not in right now, it's time to put Tony in the Hall of Fame at Blair. He's done more. A lot of folks. I think Tony, man. Let's get Chappelle. Tony, by the way, invited me out one night, and I couldn't do it. I don't know if you remember this or not. He just texted me and said, "Hey, man, we're going on in town, blah, blah, blah." And I said, I couldn't do it. I was tired, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I got a picture the next day of him and Chappelle together. And I was like, I suck. I was watching Meet TV Network last night, and Alfred Hitchcock made a joke about beating his wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The humor has changed, as you well know. You well know. What you could say back then, you cannot say now. And nor would you want to, really. But yeah, the jokes, the parameters for jokes have changed. Now, on stage, different story. I'll be interested to see where you took the Haddock show, what you did. I can't wait for that. Billy Leonard is watching. Billy is a little friend of mine who is either playing golf elsewhere or stuck at home drinking his fine wine. He's a connoisseur. Yeah, just looking around, dude. There's nothing going on. Billy's Pittsburgh Steelers are out of the playoffs, as you well know. What do you think of Wayne Haskins going to your squad, Billy Leonard? Now, here I can bring them on camera, but here I can't. Why is that? If I can do that here. Yeah, by a second. I don't think it can work, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see here. I'm going to take a look and see if it's feasible. Don't think it is. Looking. If I click on here, I don't think it could work. I'm going to try it though. Bring this down. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling right now. I'm just looking to see if I could make this a live thing. I don't think I can. And I cannot. Okay. I was trying. What's up, JB? What's up, James? Um, well, yeah. Sorry, I was just rambling. Just looking around. So I'm looking to do some more stuff, audition for more stuff. Um, and people behind me. Apparently, our house is being raided by DEA. Not good. That's a problem. Probably shouldn't still be here. Um, uh, so looking to do more stuff, host, some more stuff in my field. I really don't want to leave the business. So the play-by-play thing was really cool. But like I said, a bunch of games have been postponed. I did a game for CBS Sports Network with Pete Gillen a few weeks ago, Georgetown Marquette. It was a really good game. So hoping I'm on the CBS radar a little bit. Uh, that's it. Got the other stuff that's going on. I'm trying to get some roles, not bread rolls, but some roles in some TV shows. So we're starting that process as well. All right. All right. I think that's it. Anybody else got any questions? Let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Notification. Let's see what this is. What's being said here. I don't know. I don't know. Um, nope. I should be helping out with the groceries right now. You guys know that, right? You know that. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Just wanted to check in. I might do this some more just because, again, we're all bored to tears. Will Slade says, I enjoyed your stand up. How about more? Yeah. I think because I'm bored, I might get back to it. I should learn under the legend, Tony Woods. But you can't even go out and do clubs, right, Tony? You can't even go do clubbing right now. When do you guys tape the show? When did you tape the Tiffany Haddish show? Is what I want to know. How far back was that? Beth Welker and a Hizzle. Hello, Beth. Beth just had a birthday not too long ago. So greetings. Beth was there when I was inducted into the Blair Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool. Very nice to see her lovely face. What else? Yeah, stand-up comedy is such a hard thing. And you don't want to do it half-assed. You can't do it half-assed. So it's an art, and I can't just walk into it. There's some stuff when you're naturally funny, but write a joke, which was the big thing for me, writing a joke. When I finally got it and did it, it was very eye-opening for it to take place. I don't know. I'd really like to do sketch comedy and deliver lines on shows. I think that would be my strength. But still a little late in the ball game. What's going on? By the way, this is an awful color. I'm not sure why I got this color. I got a green. I got a red. I don't know where the gray is. It should have stuck with gray. This looks like I'm trying to suck on a banana, a deformed banana. That's not good. Not good at all. Um, huh. All right. Anybody got anything else? Anybody want to share what's going on in their world? Let's see here. 980 is tweeting. Let's see. Okay. Chris Russell's tweeting, and it's talking about the Washington football team. That doesn't really help. Thanks. Hmm. Okay. All right, kids. Appreciate y'all's time. I'll come back. We'll do this again. I'll do some Instagram tonight where I can bring somebody on and talk. I think I can do it. I can bring you on I don't know, on the desktop. I can bring you on, I think. I'm just rambling right now. Sorry. All right. You guys take it easy. Have a good day. what is it, Thursday? Or as I call it, Blur's Day. I have no idea what day of the week it is normally. Literally thought it was Tuesday last week when it was Friday. That's not good. I should sleep more. Peace out to you.